Hi, Patrick here, Half Cheetah World View, and we are back for another film review. So, I decided to follow up on a comment I made in one of my past reviews, and once you see the movie we're going to be talking about, you'll know when I mentioned it. Um, Boy, how's that for a mystery for you? So anyway, I love the Western movie, and I've talked about it many times. And one of the movies we just reviewed was a movie with Kevin Sorbo in it. He did a Nature a Month film, and I commented that Kevin Sorbo, while his acting is rather wooden, um, it's only when he does westerns that he does actually comes alive. He's actually really good in the western. Actually, I know I'm saying that, but that's true. I can't knock it. So I decided to go back to the old library, the old past category, the old movies I watched from a long time ago, and I thought I'd bring this one up and rewatch it and comment on it, and that is Avenging Angel from 2007, which stars Kevin Sorbo, who plays Preacher. It also has one of our favorite character actors, Nick Chinlund, who plays the sheriff, Bob Quinn. Cynthia Watros plays Maggie, who you might remember from Lost. Wings Hauser plays the bad guy, the big heavy Colonel Kuzik. And if Wing Hauser sounds familiar, that's because his son, Cole Hauser, is currently starring in the Western Yellowstone and tearing it up as Rip. This movie also features the very first feature film role for young Joey King, who plays Maggie's daughter Amelia. So, so the movie opens up with Kevin Sorbo's character, Preacher. He is he is holding the service, and while he is holding the service, meanwhile down the road, um, Bob Quinn is actually under the orders of Colonel Cusick is going to massacre a group of settlers who have bought the land from Colonel Cusick, but he has stolen the land from them and then calling them squatters. So he's tried to take their money and then force them off the land, but it hasn't worked. So now he's going to kill everybody. And so that's what he does. He sends Bob Quinn down there, and they shoot anything that moves. Um, uh, uh, well, at least his men do. Quinn is an interesting character, but we'll talk about that in a second. So anyway, Quinn leads the men down there, and yes, and they chase the remainders of some settlers into a church where preacher is preaching with his wife Sarah and his little daughter Rachel. Uh, uh, and so uh, his wife is Sarah and his daughter is Rachel. So he comes out and he tries to talk Bob Quinn down, saying, you don't have to do this to the house of God and whatnot. And you see that Bob Quinn, he gives him a lot of chances. He really, I don't know. He's just an interesting character to me. But in the end, his hands forced and he kills everybody in the church. Um, it's almost like he's more afraid of the colonel than he is of what's in front of him. He's doing this. Um, he's doing this because he's scared of the colonel. He respects the man, he worships the man, but he's deathly afraid of him. It's like, if I don't do this, he's going to kill me. That's the impression you get from Quinn. Well, he does. He blows up the church, and it kills not only some of the settlers, but also kills the preacher's family. And he is knocked out while this happens. He finds his family dead, and then he becomes a bounty hunter, and he becomes a really good bounty hunter. And we find out a little bit that preacher used to be a soldier in the Union Army, and he fought in the Civil War, and he was very good at his job. But now he's a man of peace. Well, he was until that happened. So now he's roaming around the territory, and initially he was looking for the men who killed his family, but now he's just turned to a bounty hunter, and he's finding them, and he's killing them, and he's bringing them in, and it leads him back to his old town, where he walks up with his latest bounty, and none other than Bob Quinn is now sheriff of the town. So it's been about a couple of years since this has happened, and while Preacher remembers Quinn, Quinn doesn't remember Preacher. So, uh, so so Preacher decides to hang around in the town, um, and we find out yet another group of settlers have been tricked by the colonel into coming onto the ground and settling on it, saying that they have bought it, and then having it swindled from right underneath their noses. This is something the colonel has become really, really good at. But he wants the people off the land now. He's got their money now. He wants them off, and of course they're not going to leave. So the colonel wants Quinn to hire the bounty hunter to go out there and to chase him off, um, but Preacher wants nothing to do with that. And while he's having a drink in the saloon, um, he sees a saloon girl get roughed up, and he calls out the men who were doing it. And initially, he gets the upper hand on them, but they have numbers on him, and they knock him out and throw him in the middle of the street. And that's where Maggie comes out and rescues him before anything happens to him. So she gets him up on his feet and takes her back to her place and cares for him. And and Maggie's a good-hearted person who's had her own backstory, shady backstory, but you can sense the attraction toward Preacher, um, and so he stays there for $1 a week and one meal a day, and he starts helping around the house. But he's also being asked by the sheriff, the marshal, Quinn, to go out there to push the settlers off. And he goes out there, but he's not doing that. He's trying to tell them very gently to leave. And the thing is, though, he's trying to do it peacefully. He doesn't carry a gun. Maggie doesn't like guns in her house, so he is going around town and to the settlers as unarmed. He's just trying to use the power of persuasion to get them off. He then meets the colonel through Quinn, and and the Preacher lets the colonel knows that who he is and his disdain for him. So, of course, this all leads up to the final showdown, where the townspeople underneath the colonel are going to ride out there to slaughter the settlers on the land, and there doesn't seem to be anybody stopping them until the Preacher shows up, and him and Bob Quinn will have their day in the sun. Uh, so yeah, this is a pretty good movie. I gotta tell you, it was made for TV. I think it came out of Ion. It was made for Ion TV in 2007. Robert Helmy Entertainment, and it's 81 minutes long. It's PG-13. There's a minimum amount of violence, but the tone of the movie is PG-13. I liked it. I thought, like I said, I mean, Kevin Sorbo, this is his best acting that I've ever seen him do, and that includes Andromeda. But I liked him in the Western. He seems really at home playing a cowboy. He looks good on a horse. He knows how to handle a gun. Um, his acting is really good, for sure. I mean, he's not just the wooden Hercules, as we all have grown to know. He actually shows a lot of emotion and heart in this role as Preacher. Um, and again, he's backed by a really good cast, and that includes Nick Chinlund, who plays a very interesting Sheriff Quinn. Like I said, yes, he does some dastardly things, and you can't make excuses for it, but you can sort of see where he was sort of pushed down the road. I think in another life, he wouldn't have done the things he did. Interesting character, and Chinlund plays him really, really well. He's easily the most fascinating character in this movie. Of course, Wing Hauser plays the evil colonel. He does what he's supposed to do. He comes in there. He's heavy-handed. He's charming and debonair, and everything's his, and nobody else can have it. So there's that. Um, so and of course, Cynthia Watros, who played in Lost and also played in two soap operas. In fact, I think she's in one right now, Guiding Light. Is it Guiding Light or Brave and the Beautiful? Whatever the one it is. She's done over almost 500 episodes of it as this review. So overall, this this is a fun movie. I got this at the Dollar Tree. This is actually a Dollar Tree theater. How about that? I'm going to do a Dollar Tree theater with Avenging Angel. I really liked it. I know I'll probably get some fun comments for saying that, but yeah, I think I would recommend this. There's no special features on it. It runs for 81 minutes, and if you get a chance to get it or see it, it might be on Tubi. I'm not sure. I don't think it is, but if it is, I recommend watching it. And yeah, that's it for us. Avenging Angel. Check it out. All right. If you're new to the channel, if you like Westerns, drop a comment down below. Hit the sub button. And yeah, look forward to the next one. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.